Recorded live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final Sharkcast that we're having, and we're going to have a special guest today. It's going to be none other than Casey himself.
I did some thinking about it, and I'm going through this entire experience, not that the publicity is all gone and this and that. I need to just force myself to just have a no-spin talkcast. And again, this is hard for me to share because a lot of it is kind of raw and painful, but I'm just now beginning to realize how my actions have caused so much pain with the consequences that are looming over my head with the FBI thing and all that. It's definitely showing me that I can't just keep living life like that. All that stuff that made it online with my wife's side of the story, it's all in essence true. Of course, some of the details might have been emphasized and this and that, but I'm not going to justify any of that. I'll just be honest and admit that I have been very manipulative the entire time I've been married. You know, I've basically been acting as if I'm single. And I've been at this thing, meaning entrepreneurship and trying different businesses before I got married. And once we got together and we got married, I thought, oh, crap, hopefully this marriage thing doesn't interfere with what I'm trying to do financially. Well, that was the beginning of it. Because really the rest of the marriage I've been sort of living like, oh, it's my business. You better come alongside and help me out and be my partner. And if you don't, well, I'm going to do it anyway. So I have been very much a liar in a lot of ways and manipulator. And usually I don't lie outright. I tell the truth. I like to keep it organic, believe it or not. I really do. But I find myself not telling the complete truth. And unfortunately, in my marriage, I've also been doing a lot of that, not telling her some of the things I was doing, not telling her about some of the loans I was taking out. And I just continued doing that over and over again, kept stepping on the relationship. Really, the first 2 years, on and off the marriage, there's been times where I wanted to divorce. Last summer, I took off for about a month. Really, it was kind of like a business trip where I wanted to sell the properties, but then I kind of insisted to go by myself.
What Dwayne was saying was, according to Galena, you went on a date with another woman. Was this the trip that date happened?
When I was in New Mexico, there was, in fact, a female receptionist at the hotel, and there seemed to have been something there, talking to her and this and that, and then I thought, hey, I'll ask her to lunch. But again, I didn't think I was going to go anywhere. And I'm really, really glad it didn't really go much past that. We didn't hug, we didn't kiss, none of that stuff, just sort of talked and connected in some ways. Well, if I'm on the trip, I'll probably be tempted. And I was a little bit, but then when I met up with this girl and I thought about everything, I realized, you know what, it doesn't matter who you're out there with. There's always going to be issues. No one's perfect. I have a really nice wife who loves me, and I just continue treating her like crap with the way I do business. So I pulled the blog down, and I went to my bank, and it was already too late to get a cashier's check because what I wanted to do is take the entire $50K I got from Aaron and basically just give it to my wife and just say, use it as you wish, because I felt like at that point I finally realized that's the right thing to do. I already promised to do it, but I started going back and forth, started thinking, well, what if I invest this money? What if I just pay her debt off slowly? Because I thought, well, maybe I could do something with that 50 later on and blah, blah, blah. In other words, I was really holding on to the money. I had the whole greed thing happen again in the selfish. I was thinking, well, I may need that money. Plus, I work hard for it. It's my money. But then Monday morning, I slept. And by the way, she got really upset at me because here I am for I don't know how many times already going back and forth on just the debt that's really mine.
Well, of course she was upset at you, Casey, because right now I'm biting my tongue as hard as I frickin' can because I want to go off on you right now, but I'll let you finish.
But anyway, I woke up Monday morning, and I called her up and said, hey, look, forget everything I said last night. I'm still moving forward and paying off your cars. Don't worry. And then, of course, this morning I had to talk with Mark, the senior. Even though I have certain feelings for how things were done, I still made that promise to him on a settlement, and I tried to weasel out of it, and it wasn't right. So I actually told him, hey, let's just put a stop to the bleeding and realize, you know what, if I'm doing a turnaround store, I got to treat everybody right, including Mark. And if I promise the guy $1,500, I got to follow through, no matter how bad I feel about it.
With that, we're going to jump to Stagecoach.
I have been following your blog for a long time. I think I started out as a supporter, then a hater, and then a supporter, and now I really feel sorry for it. I think you've got a chemical imbalance, and I think some of the symptoms that you described are that, and I think you need to be put on medication. Not a bad thing. There's a lot of people out there that have that, but I think you just got the neurons firing in your brain, and some of your judgments are they're just not there, and it's hurting yourself.
You know, I was speaking with some friends of mine, and I was telling them how the haters telling me maybe you're crazy, or not crazy, but maybe you just need to go get checked out just in case and prove them wrong, if anything. And I had a pretty close friend of mine saying, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe you should go and do that. So I don't want to promise, but I'm considering that.
All right, with that, we're going to jump to Sebastian.
What I was wondering, have you done any research to see if prisons serve semi-vegan food?
Well, I can always pick things out, right? Probably don't want to go around telling people I'm semi-vegan.
Another thing, are you going to cut your hair before you go in because of the feminine looks and everything? I don't know if that's something you want to portray while you're in jail.
You know, he makes a good point. Casey, have you gotten a haircut?
No, not yet.
I
haven't done the first part of my strategy.
All right, Casey, before I go, just one last thing. I'm getting married this weekend, and I have to say, reading your story has taught me exactly how not to treat my wife when I finally get married, because what you have done is truly inspirational to show everybody how to keep your wife and how not to lose her by being a total douchebag.
The thing is, Casey, you finally did the right thing with the money by paying off G's credit cards. So, you know, I will say that through all of this, you actually have made one good deal, you know. You actually did pretty damn good selling it for $50,000. So, with that being said, here comes the gun. Annie, are you there?
You know, I saw your post, I guess it was Saturday or Sunday. It was your letter to your wife, and it at least sounded like you understood that she is capable of having and making decisions on her own with regards to who she is friends with. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't have any ground to tell her who she could or could not talk about.
So, you know, I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. I think that Dwayne has taken some really horrible abuse that was uncalled for, because when you left for Australia, your wife needed someone to talk to who could be objective. And, you know, I think for Galena, it was good for her to reach out to Dwayne and others.
I sense there's something more to it, so go ahead and tell me what you really think.
Well, basically, you know, I think that it has come to a time now where you need to say and understand and, you know, repeat after me, my marriage is over.
I'm not willing to say that.
With that being said, I'm going to bring Dwayne on because this is the final hater cast. So, do you want to be muted?
Don't even unmute me. I don't want to talk to that guy.
Casey is actively paying Galena's credit cards right now. What do you have to say about that? And another thing I wanted to ask you is the deal he got from Aaron Crown is more than what he got from you. So what are your thoughts on that?
Hey, I'm glad he got more money from Aaron. I think probably over the long haul, he would have probably got more money from me. That being said, it's a cash flow situation, and he kept coming back to me and saying, hey, I want to sell to somebody else, and I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, everybody thought I was like jonesing for his blog. I wasn't. I'm glad he got more money for it. I was kind of shocked that he was going to do what he was going to do with the money. Casey has paid off cards. It remains to be seen exactly how much has been paid, but that has not been without issue, and it's not been clean, and it hadn't been without strings attached or whatever else.
At the end, Dwayne, I really got to tip my hat off for him doing the right thing on it.
Okay, well, he did the right thing because he had no other alternative. But again, he did it, so I'm shocked.
Now, what do you have to say to your critics out there that say you're getting involved in someone's marriage?
You know, tough love is just that, brother. It's tough. It's not easy. Casey wants tough love the easy way. He was asked not to mention her name by Galena herself, but don't do it, and he continued to do it. All this sweet wifey crap, she didn't want that on there. The best way to hit him and the best way to get him to stop is to put his own words back in his own face. He may not like it. People may not agree with it. I don't care. If you want to call me whatever, that's fine. I have no problem with it. I've got no ulterior motive except for to protect her, which is something that he should have been doing from day one. Casey paid off a few credit cards, and the first thing he did was want to cancel every one of them. He wanted to reverse all the charges.
Is that true, Casey?
Come on, Casey. No spin zone, brother. Why the silence, man? The thing, Casey, that bothers you is that you can't debate me on any single point I've ever put out there, ever.
Name bomb in the last 30 minutes, so you didn't hear me saying how I was waffling even and trying to pay off her cards. So I was honest about everything. No spins on the Stockcast.
I know you probably hate me right now. I still like you. I like you as a person. I hate what you've done. I hate what you've done to your wife. I hate what you've done from a mortgage fraud standpoint. And I'm not going to sit here and kiss your ass because you and I have gone through it a million different times. But by God, I'll tell you this. You need to change. And what I said about your parents, they need to have their asses kicked from a standpoint of how they've raised you, how they've coddled you, how they've accepted everything that you've done. Your dad should have kicked your ass a long time ago. Your brother should have kicked your ass a long time ago.
M. Singh, you're going to have the final say ever on a hater cast. Can you re-say what you told Mr. Serin 2 months ago in exactly the same way you said it?
Here goes. You, sir, are a loser. You, sir, need to get a damn job. You, sir, need to get the